We have come to the fourth section or fourth part of my presentation about CIBC corruption, collusion, fraud, and theft. This is more interesting. You think that CIBC people must have learned to fraud the citizens from these political staffs who think nothing but money. To the political staffs, money is their intrinsic motivation. It is all about making money. They spend their days soliciting money from individuals and corporations or other organizations. On the contrary, CIBC people have started their fraudulent activities since 1999 or early 2000 after Prime Minister John Chrétien privatized student loan. CIBC was the first bank to receive the approval to manage student loans. Student takes their loan agreement and cash it at the CIBC. It is then they started defrauding the students. How? They use the student's name and their social insurance numbers and they follow where the students go. They duplicate their bank accounts and they collude with the National Student Loan Service Center or people inside the National Student Loan Service Center to get the loan approved. And they also collude with the branch that once the money is transferred, it does not go to the student's account but to the CIBC person's account. In my case, since 2000, Davis Henderson from the CIBC duplicates my bank account. He colludes with Abigail T. from the National Student Loan Service Center to apply and approve the loan using my name and my social insurance number. He also colludes with the local branch that once the money is transferred, it goes to his account, not to my account. He follows me up to when I took my doctoral study without knowing that since June 2007 I did not have any additional student loan. I never applied. Rather, I applied for debt reduction and it went through. Davis managed to take student loan from September 2000 to March 2014 using my name and my social insurance number. He did not have my student number, the latest student number, but interestingly, his application for the loan was approved. Well, he has Abigail T inside, and the money never goes to my bank account but to his bank account. I never know about this until recently when the CIBC took money without my knowledge saying it is pre-authorized debit NSLSC. Yannick took my son's money because of this. He put a virtual interface on my computer screen to let me know that I have student loan but the money goes to his pocket. The loan belongs to Davis Henderson, but they want me to pay? Get real, this is identity theft. But I cannot get a new social insurance number because fake CRA, who is the front door or the gatekeeper of the real CRA, says social insurance number or HST can only be issued once. Why? They cannot issue HST or they cannot issue social insurance number either. Social insurance number, you get it from the Ministry of Human Resources, Social Skills and Development. But they act as if they are the Human Resources, Social Skills and Development because from Service Canada, they both are combined. Now, they the fake CRA duplicates people's social insurance number and their HST number, and this number tie to their bank account. That's why they try, if possible, people do not reapply for new social insurance number, or people cannot get new HST number because they have to go through the process of creating new bank account, and people may find out, and they have been for 10 years they're survive or they are successful with this scheme. This is how Davis Anderson duplicates my student loan application. He just copies and pastes everything. That is why they are not synced. Despite how careful he did, it is very feasible that this is a fraud. A person will be very stupid and fool or gullible to admit that this is legit. By the way, I do have forensic administration. I know when a paper is scam and real. A police officer would be a fool too if he says this is legit. This is a fraud, identity theft, and fraud. Since September 2016, I have been receiving this scam email from the CIBC. The name of the person who sends this automatic email is Anuj Fora, which is the CIBC executive for retail products. Here it says that he is a client account management. Don't you find it interesting? He is responsible for fraud, credit card fraud, but he has been trying to fraud me and has been defrauding other students or trying to fraud other students and other people who knows by sending this scam email. After receiving this scam email 2 times in September last year, in January 2017, Yannick took my son's money over $4,000. My son didn't know it. I noticed it and I informed him, so he went to the CIBC. There he met Yannick. Yannick told him that he took the money because I have a loan, but I had debt reduction, and that was approved in 2008 2009. That is why when student loan data went missing, I was not including. OSAP informed me that I was no longer outstanding because of the debt reduction application. It was approved. Now, this has nothing to do with the CIBC. My son has nothing to do with me. He has nothing to do with my affairs. Why CIBC took money from him? This is very, very evil. When I call this number given by Anuj Fora, it is always answered by customer service agents who claim they are from Vancouver, but they are actually from India. I asked to speak to Anuj Fora. They keep saying, I'll talk to my supervisor. Then the phone went dead. They send this email automatically and it doesn't receive any reply. Always bounce back. All reply are blocked or non-deliverable. I tried to email Anuj Fora. I want to send him this email back to him to let him know that you have been sending this scam email, but it is blocked. I cannot send him an email. This email is not even from the CIBC. No one can explain to me the account ending in 8766. It appears that all victims are sent this message and they all are pulled into this account. To know what it is, I have to give them my name, social insurance number, and other privacy information. This is a fraud. A CIBC executive even sent scam email to people to try to make money from students who do not really know about anything or any changes in the government, but I do know. So executive, CIBC executive is also defrauding people. The ombudsman is a big name. The man is considered God-given heaven, but he does very little or hardly anything. I sent him 14 letters. He never reads any of them. Rather, they all end up at the desk of the client care. Then this client care passed my letter like a pack from one person to another. Philip Seymour, Janice Martin, Andrea Lewis, Catalina Lowe, Nancy Norris, and I forgot the other two. After Andrea Lewis, they stopped replying. They just want to talk over the telephone, just like they do with each other. All these people do is just argue and argue and argue, like the politicians do. Andrea Lewis, her argument is very political, so she must be a political staff put in the bank to defend the bank. So argue and argue and argue. They do not read, do not want to admit mistakes and their evil deed, and they also accuse and accuse and accuse, just like the politicians do. They ignore us. They believe in Edward Wong. They listen to Daniel Snyder, listen to Rivera, never wants to admit the mistake that this is a fraud. So they want to control us. They're forcing us, but holding our money. When I ask to meet with them, they ignore my request. All these client cares use scam address, but inside the letter, some of them copy the address of the office of the ombudsman and I paste it. So it's just copy. There's a logo of the office of the ombudsman, just paste it in their letter. So they are cowards. Lawyers are also paid to close their eyes. The police officers are paid not to do anything. A Smith Falls police officer, David Rakabovich, told me he asked the RCMP and OPP to let him handle the case. But he turned around and told me, suck it up. He's one of the bad cops demoted from Toronto, and he told me that he has contacted the district attorney and the court not to accept my case in case I take the CIBC to court. He even threatens me to stop investigating or he will take me to jail. He'll charge me. He wants to put me in jail. Unbelievable. He claims he is a detective, but he never stopped talking. A detective listens and listens and listens. That's how he solves problems. But this one talks and talks and talks. I met with him for about 15 or 20 minutes, and he just ranting. He just talking non-stop. How can you solve problems if you just talking? You have to listen. A detective but never listens, just talking. That is unbelievable. I never meet any person call himself a police detective who talks non-stop. Gord Brown MP, his political staff never reply. We cannot meet with him unless we pay $1,500. How in the world a person being elected as politician then turn around charges the citizen to meet with him? That is ingratitude. It is because of people he becomes a politician. But charging $1,500? Senators, no senator too willing to help. Even Senator Ranchiman, I think he's too old to do mental work. He's over 70. His staff never help. In fact, his staff forges his signature. All these people are cowards. CIBC people, all cowards. They're bullies. They're ignorant. They are irresponsible. They are very controlling. And by holding our money, that shows that they are abusive. Every single one of them. Karen Burns, that shows to me that she is an abusive person, very abusive. So now the only person who can help us is God and the audience. CEO, he's busy lobbying. I'll show you his success in lobbying in the next slide. Do you ever read the newspaper ad or watch the television ad saying CIBC, proud sponsor of such and such event, especially sports and spectacular events such as the recent one, Canada 150? So people are proud of the CIBC, thinking that this bank has all the money to sponsor all these events for public enjoyment. Wrong. The money comes from the taxpayers. It is the lobbying effort of Mr. Dodik, CIBC Chief Executive Officer and President, that Prime Minister gives the money to the CIBC to be the sponsor of this event. The money comes from the taxpayers, not from the CIBC. It is not the CIBC money. It is the money from you and I. We are actually sponsoring ourselves. We pay for our enjoyment, not the CIBC pay for our enjoyment. Now I believe the CIBC is corrupt, evil, it is abusive. CIBC and the CRA scammers work together. Some of the CIBC customer service are also CRA scammers, and they scam people. They steal people's money directly from their bank account. Now I believe what people say. It is true. They are corrupt. Having told you all our terrible and awful experience with the CIBC, I am pleading, please, please help us to get our money back from the CIBC. This is the amount of money that they take from us, three of us, and if you could write to Mr. Dodik, the more you write, the more people write, maybe the more he will come to see. He will see all these letters when it piles up in his office. Then maybe he will return our money. Please help us. It's the only way. We cannot go to the court because it seems like all the ways have been blocked. We ask your help. We ask the audience help. I'm begging, I'm pleading. Please help us. Thank you very much, and I pray that God will bless you all. Take care. Thank you again.